let's run through some of the free agent moves this offseason. Obviously, we had Russell Wilson coming to Denver. We had the Bears trading Khalil Mack to the Chargers. We had J.C. Jackson going to the Chargers. Randy Gregory to the Broncos. Las Vegas signing Chandler Jones. And the Raiders trading for Devontae Adams. And then the Chiefs, I guess you could contextualize this as a big move, but bringing in Juju Smith-Schuster. So what is, in your mind, the most important signing this offseason in the AFC West?
I mean, that Juju move got a lot more important when they lost Tyreek Hill a couple weeks later. But, that's something that probably wouldn't even be noted with the other guys that you just listed until it's like, oh, wait, but they lost Tyreek Hill, so now Juju's the one receiver there. I think that the single biggest move made in the AFC West this offseason was Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. I'm biased. I'll go ahead and hype up my Chargers moves as much as I can. But the Chargers were already a team with a lot of talent. They won 9 games last year, so going up from here is 10 games or more. And they're a team that necessarily didn't need to bring in like a franchise-changing caliber player like Russell Wilson is. So I think that with Russell Wilson going to Denver, now that set it up to where we could have this 4-team gauntlet. Because if Denver still had Drew Lock, even with the roster that they have and the talent they have on the roster, I think they got a lot of good young talent on the roster. With Drew Lock, they probably would have been the bottom of the barrel again. Now they got Russell Wilson, which changes things. It changes things when the weakest team has Russell Wilson at quarterback.
So are you buying into this Broncos team reformed with Russell Wilson? Because I'll tell you, listen, I've said this a few times on this show. I watched a lot of Russell Wilson last year and the second half of the year before, and I'm not buying it. I think the Broncos made that move to sweeten the pot on selling the franchise. I don't think that they are a real contender. I think that Russell Wilson at this stage of his career is a short king who can't throw over the middle of the field and is tricking people into thinking that he's still a superstar quarterback. So what do you make of that?
You're going a little too far. I mean, he's not prime Russ, but he still cooks, even in games where he's playing hurt last year. But yeah, I'm not buying into them being like hardcore Super Bowl contenders this year. This team can make the wild card. I won't even be shocked if they're competing for the division at the end of the year. But the reasoning that I have is not necessarily Russ. I'm not worried about Russ. I kind of know what we're getting with him. We're going to get a really good game managing, deep ball thrower, a guy that's good with the play action. I mean, just all around a really complete quarterback in Russell Wilson. It's the rest of the talent around him. Not that I'm doubting the talent around him, but I am doubting whether they need one more year or not. When you go and you look at the Raiders, they got Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. Like, all these guys are established stars in the league already. You go and look at the Chargers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are putting up multiple seasons now where both of them have 1,000 yards with 2 different quarterbacks. They did it with Phil once, and now they've done it with Herbert once. They're established stars. Austin Eckler coming out of the backfield. You go look at Kansas City, they have Travis Kelce, they have Patrick Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster, kind of. He's been up and down in his career, but more due to injuries than anything. So, like, all the other teams in the division have established guys. And, like, the number one guy is looking like Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton in Denver. And those are good players, but they aren't at the level of Devontae Adams or a receiving core with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
And I look across Denver's roster, and other than Garrett Bowles, that's the way I feel about almost every other spot on the roster. Good player. I believe in his talent, but we haven't established it yet. The Chargers have J.C. Jackson. Yeah, I believe in Pat Surtain. I think he's going to be a great player one day, but I don't think today's that day. I think they're 1 year away, bringing some more veteran leadership in next offseason when you can get a year removed from trading for one of the most expensive quarterbacks in the league, and go ahead and go at it in the next couple of years because they do have a lot of young talent. It's just not quite proven yet. I'm expecting some hot and cold streaks from the Broncos this year. I think I have like 2 different runs of losing streaks of 3 games in a row when I looked at the schedule.
So the thing about the Broncos to me is that I actually like their surrounding talent, but I think that there's going to be a real challenge of coaching scheme and allowing what Nathaniel Hackett wants to do on offense to mold with what Russell Wilson likes to do. Hackett, wherever he goes, likes to do this check down, get the ball to the running back. Leonard Fournette was at his best as a receiver under those Hackett teams, and I think that that's something he really emphasizes in moving the sticks and checking down. And Russell Wilson refuses to do that. He's a guy who wants to extend every single play. It's against his very person to not try to extend the play and go for the deep shot. So I think that at least in this first year, there's going to be a real challenge there. Listen, they may put it together in year 2, but I watched Aaron Rodgers, who to me is at this point the best quarterback in the NFL. He's coming off 2 MVPs, but his first year in a similar system that really emphasizes getting the ball out in short yardage, he really struggled that first year with Matt LaFleur. He went on to win 2 straight MVPs, so it's possible that Russ could, I don't know if he's going to follow a similar trajectory, but he may become more comfortable. But I'm looking at their over-under 10 win total right now. That's what DraftKings has them at. And I don't see a world in which they're hitting that over. I think that they may reach 10 games, but I don't see them winning 11 games. Do you?
I have them winning. I have them winning 9 games, and that to me, like they could be anywhere from 7, 8 wins again to 10, 11 wins, like around there. I'm with you. I think that 11 is a max for me as well. When you talk about the weapons, also, I want to just give a little shout out. They got Tim Patrick, they got Cortland Sutton, and they got Jerry Jeudy. But I think maybe I'm crazy for thinking this, and if you play fantasy football, maybe look into it. I think KJ Hamler's going to emerge. I think he's going to be like his Tyler Lockett guy. Whoever wants to play the number one receiver can play the number one receiver, but I think that KJ Hamler will be the number 2 receiver by 2023.